Hey YouTube, we got another knife review today. We're going to be looking at the Giant Mouse Knives GM1. So this is the first folding knife in the collaboration between Vox and Anzo. And they created this beautiful titanium frame lock flipper. And yeah, we'll kind of go into the pros and cons of this blade. So starting off with the blade. You got an N690, which is a pretty good steel for just EDC tasks, and it'll work well with just regular stropping. It's going to do great, and it's going to perform great for EDC. I'm really loving the blade shape of this with like a lot of belly and not a lot of flat spots. I don't know, I think it works great for my EDC. The finger choil works excellent. I love where they place the jimping up here, so when you choke up, it fits exactly where your thumb goes when you're doing like a task where you need some finer grip on it. The action is great on it. It flips out super smooth. It's a little bit light on the detent compared to some others, but it fires out great, and it's absolutely super smooth. Doing it with my left hand. Yeah, but I mean, fires out really reliably and super smooth. I've taken this one apart. It middle finger flicks just fine. It has a good enough detent for that. It's a little bit harder to do it with the thumb, but you can still do it with relative ease. It's a little bit harder and some people find it tricky, but yeah. And I really like what they did with the hole, kind of making it a little bit different, but it still catches your hand very well when you're trying to flick it and such. So definitely a great design. Moving on to the handle, I really like these blue accents, what they did around the like with the pivot collar on both sides, as well as the clip and the back spacer. All are the same blue color, and they did a really good job with it, and it looks very, very clean. Great ergonomics. Everything fits in the hand super well. It's a little bit big for some people for EDC, because it has like a 3.3 inch cutting edge, so a little bit over 3.5 inch blade, so it's over 8 inches for sure. I don't remember exact specs, but somewhere around there. I like the contrast between the handle and the blade, with being like a really light stone wash and just this being darker. A lot of attention to detail with it, with the chamfering around everything. An excellent milled pocket clip, goes into the pocket super well and out very well. Yeah, definitely just an absolutely fantastic knife like that. You have your steel insert there, so it's steel on titanium, as well as your over travel stop, so there's absolutely no lock stick either. Yeah, and it definitely is an awesome little carry blade just due to the size and everything. They well rounded that flipper tab and added a little bit of jimping right there, so you can either light switch it or you can push button it. And I mean, once again, that action is just absolutely amazing, super smooth, and can't really say too much else about that. There's a ton of attention to detail on this knife. As you can see, there's not a lot of branding or anything on the knife itself. And what they did, the only thing on there is really that logo on the clip. And that's literally about the only branding thing on here. The rest of it is inside of the knife, and they have it like engraved on the inside, and it looks really, really nice if you take it apart. And then the only other thing is I got number 150 out of 300, so these are a fairly limited edition, and they will be probably gone fairly soon here. But yeah, I would highly recommend picking it up, especially if you like the shape and everything. I mean, the only real cons about it are they're going to take up a little bit of space in your pocket just due to the width of it. I mean, compared to a Hinder MX-18, it's still thicker than that even. Like, as you can see here, lining it up, it's still going to be like thicker than that. And this is a pretty thick knife, but it does make up a lot of it for the thinness like compared to the Hinder, it's a lot thinner and makes it a lot easier to pocket that way. But it's still going to be a very wide blade. But I mean, that also really helps the edge to come down super thin here, so you have a really thin cutting edge, which makes it a great EDC slicer and does a really good job with that. So yeah, I mean, overall impressions of it, there's not a lot wrong with this blade, and I love most of the things about it. And I would highly recommend it to anyone who wants like a really good titanium frame lock flipper. And yeah, I mean, this really beats out a lot of the ZTs, I think, in like just overall quality and everything. But you are going to pay a little bit more for that, around $320, $325 new. I got this one used for about $250, so you can get a good deal on these. So I mean, if you want one, keep your eye out. I'm sure people will be selling it. So yeah, this is the Giant Mouse Knives GM1. Thanks for sticking with the review. There'll be more to come for sure. See you guys later.